Disclaimer: the following will contain spoilers for 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim. If you do not enjoy spoilers, then consider this your opportunity to click off right now. With that out of the way, let us begin. On today's episode of 13 Sentinels Aegis Rim Character Files, we will be discussing, our noble gentleman delinquent, Nenji Ogata. The 2188 Nenji Ogata is the son of a distinguished family that owns the Shikishima conglomerate. His father was a huge proponent for Project Art. However, his father is also the reason why, mankind went extinct. The reason why the 2188 Nenji Ogata was so staunchly against Project Art was because he felt it unnatural and selfish to try and propagate humanity through such a method. However, it's hard to say why he still held on to that belief after the extinction of mankind, because his views were based upon before everything went to hell, namely before the extinction event of 2188. As it would seem, he did not change his opposition to the project, and even to such a degree caused an even worse tragedy, as after during the meeting about the energy dispute over whether to continue the life support or Project Art, Ogata revealed that he came armed along with his allies, Ryoko and Ida. Hijiyama and Tsukasa were also on their side. However, they were not informed of Ogata's true intentions and thus were also caught by surprise. Hence the reason why Hijiyama in his video log blames Ogata for why everything went to shit. During the ensuing chaos of the shootout, Ogata was killed. Ogata, Hijiyama, and Tsukasa were the three casualties on the side that were for continuing life support, while everyone who was for Project Art, Juro, and three otherwise currently unknown members, because we are unsure who of the three were still alive during that point, as there was a total of 10 people. Renya Goto did not attend the meeting, most likely due to failing health, as without his nanomachines and his advanced age, he was pretty much getting very close to death regardless. Another thing worth of interest is that, if we are to remember, it was his father's AI that used the Shikishima network to spread the nanomachine technology that eventually led to wiping out humanity on the black market. So, one could infer that Ogata very possibly realized that something was really wrong, because some of the connections are most likely ones that only his family would know about. So it could also be that he felt partially responsible for the extinction of humanity upon reaching such a conclusion, because though Nenji Ogata may look like a complete brute, he's actually decently intelligent. He's not your standard just beat everything up type of person. He actually does have a good brain on him. He just needs incentive to use it most of the time. He most likely figured out that someone within his family was to blame for the extinction of mankind, perhaps in a desperate attempt to at least keep some semblance of honor in their family name, decided to keep it all under wraps. Or it could also be that he felt so guilty that he determined that he had no right to do anything to fix it. Although that would be a very stupid train of thought, it would not be impossible for someone like Nenji Ogata, because he has shown that his character is rooted firmly in old traditions and disciplines. He is immensely prideful, but also to a degree honorable. That could have led to also why he held such a staunch view against Project Art, because he felt it unnatural and self-serving, due to the fact that they would be creating clones and inserting themselves, technically reincarnating. He could have determined that he found it incredibly selfish to allow themselves to continue living on, essentially for all eternity. And in a traditional sense, the most likely reason why he was most staunchly against it before the extinction of mankind was because of the implications that it would have on human technology, on humankind as a whole, due to the fact that if people could just reincarnate now forcefully, then it would create a whole mess of problems in the future that Ogata feared greatly because of his position as one of the heads of Shikishima after his father's passing, and also because of how traditional his sense of chivalry and morals were. Now, I would like to make this a reminder that not everything said here is stated fact and merely my own speculations based on the character of, well, the character. So, do take what I say with a grain of salt. If you have better conclusions or conclusive evidence, then feel free to comment below and inform me. Nenji Ogata of the third loop is what we would call a honorable delinquent, or a gentleman delinquent I suppose, which mirrors the possibility of his previous self, the 2188 version, having traditional senses and aesthetics. He also possesses a chivalric code, such as protecting women. However, there is a contradiction in that he is more than willing to fight and hit women if they attack him first, such as the case with Yuki Takemiya, who was, well, immensely confrontational and violent at most of the times. Nenji Ogata gained a huge reputation as a delinquent due to his actions in middle school. He pretty much went around fighting a lot of people and beating them up, so yeah, they kind of took that as a challenge and an offense. The main rivals of Nenji, or quote-unquote main rivals, are the Kurigan, which consists of Wajima and his crew. In an odd sense, you could say they also have a friendship or a rivalry, or a frivolry, I suppose we could call it. Because at the very end of the game, when Nenji was met with Wajima, this is what happened. Ogata! I've been waiting for you. You've been waiting for me all this time? God damn it, that's the most beautiful shit I've ever heard in my life. Wajima, man, come here. Ogata! What are you doing? I'm gonna punch you! Yeah, go on! Give me a shot, man! Do whatever you want. Boss! I think he's crying! Ogata! Are you alright, man? Did you eat something bad? This is... That alone was hilarious as hell at the very ending because of the fact that... Why is it that Wajima's first reaction to Ogata being civil and acting like a friend around him is to actually be concerned about Nenji's well-being, as if they were long-time friends? That was hilarious. Anyway, the third loop Nenji Ogata's role in the story was actually took up mostly with him being strapped to a chair. The funny part is he actually takes a more sizable role in Tomi Kisaragi's story arc, as he and Tomi both ended up in the future by accident because of Shinonome. But I'll speak more about that later. Most of Nenji's story arc consists of him being strapped to a chair after being seduced by Tsukasa Okino and being knocked out by Hijiyama because Hijiyama was incredibly jealous of Nenji getting a confession from Okino, even if it was, well, fake. Anyway, so with that, the reason why Tsukasa needed to keep Nenji secured was because he was looking for the key that would call the Deimos. At that point in time, they didn't know that Juro had already transferred the key over to Natsuno from Nenji, making sure that the kaiju would not attack Sector 4, but instead attack Sector 5. Normally, the kaiju would attack in descending order starting from Sector 1, because the key would always transfer over to the next sector after the kaiju come. Due to Juro's interference, prisoner number 426 Juro's interference, the key was transferred to Natsuno, and due to BJ being programmed to go to Sector 5, brought the Natsuno as well as the key to summon the Deimos to Sector 5, which in turn meant that Sector 5 got attacked out of order instead of Sector 4. Anyway, Nenji grew to admire Tomi for her strength of character during their time in the future, because he could tell that Tomi was immensely hurt and afraid after seeing what had happened to essentially her entire home. What she knew her entire life was gone, decimated by the kaiju. Nenji found her strength of character to be able to still move on and continue living despite all that she went through, and not letting it get her down, and in fact trying to even find positives even though there were none. It touched Nenji to a huge degree, which eventually turned into love. Also, Nenji is a bit fickle, as upon confession from Tsukasa Okino, who looks like a cute girl despite being a guy, mind you, Nenji had second thoughts and was wondering, it was nice having a girl be girly to him for once, because of how abrasive Tomi could be sometimes. Oh, and Nenji Ogata is also a man of culture, or should I say a pervert, as though he was motivated by chivalry when he charged into the girls' changing room because of Natsuno's screams, he also admitted that he was hoping to, copy a hentai no, not hentai, copy a ecchi manga protagonist, and just happened to, well, walk in on a girl changing out of her clothes. As a final note, when he entered into the simulation again after several years alongside Tomi, his words to seeing her younger self was, "Damn! I'm really glad you filled out. I forgot how flat you used to be." In which Tomi responded by, well, telling him that she won't be coming back for dinner and he's gonna have to take care of not only dinner but their kids himself later tonight. So with that, this concludes Nenji Ogata's character file. Next time, we will be discussing about the person who saved Nenji, who saved Hijiyama, and who saved Juro. Yes, it is the next episode of 13 Sentinels Aegis from Character Files is going to be about our resident magical girl, Yakisoba Pan Angel Megumi Yakushiji. So, with that as our ending note, like, comment, subscribe, and I sincerely hope you enjoyed the content. And with that, I bid you all a fond bye!